They know that there's free, unlimited power in the universe that we could all use, but they won't give it to us because it would set us free from them. And whoever controls energy controls the people who need the energy.
Bio-liberty, I guess a little background's necessary to explain what bio-liberty is all about.
My name's Kevin Curley, and I was fortunate enough to buy this piece of property about 6 months before Katrina. Had some rental cottages on it, so we were going to get those up and running, and over time develop a little family compound. But a storm really changed that. When we first arrived at the property the day after Labor Day, 8 days after the storm, we had to crawl over and under maybe 60 logs crossing the driveway, and that was pretty bizarre. I mean, the trees that were snapped halfway up, trees that were uprooted, trees that were bent, all kind of directions. Serendipitously, I run into some people that are looking for a place to camp. They're doing relief work, and it's just worked out pretty super.
Just after the storm, about November, we finally were able to chop our way in here and start cleaning out the property. United Peace Relief was bringing in trained medical people and manning the free clinic in New Orleans. Veterans for Peace were spending the money that we'd raised to do relief work on different grassroots organizations, and they were sending volunteers in to help. Common Ground, Emergency Communities, Plenty International, who was with us from day one. They came and started working out of here for a while, and then we set up another camp in Duloc. And then now they've bought a house in Araby and are rebuilding homes in Lower Ninth Ward and in St. Bernard Parish. Walking to New Orleans was a march from Mobile, Alabama to New Orleans to call attention to the cost of the war and its effect on Katrina, Rita relief. So it's been a well-used space since the storm.
The population fluctuated from 5 to 20 at times, and went on for a year plus.
The first year we volunteered, we mucked and gutted houses and brought in food and supplies and things like that, more immediate stuff.
They know that there's free, unlimited power in the universe that we could all use, but they won't give it to us because it would set us free from them. And whoever controls energy controls the people who need the energy.
We're not crazy, folks. We're not crazy, folks.
Bio-liberty came out of these discussions with volunteer groups and different people that had come in here from all over the country. We had a biodiesel bus from Maine. That was Kevin's first exposure to biodiesel. So the idea was to start Bio-liberty as a demonstration project, using this property as basically the backdrop for using solar energy, thermal energy, biodiesel energy. We are building a biodiesel lab at Bayou Liberty for bioliberty.net. Once we get the grease and the potassium and the methanol and some wiring, some lights, a few more tanks, some tubing, some wiring, but we're in the process. We're kicking it off today.
Coming out of the slop sinks faucet, we put a T, like a hose T, so one side can come into here and one side goes up on the roof.
This used to be full of dead rats and everything, but we got it all cleaned up. But there's 25-gallon barrels that we're going to hand truck out to the truck and pour in. Because in New Orleans, you know, you don't necessarily have the room for a big grease trap, so it's all hump and dump.
You can go lobby Congress and you can talk about alternative energy and you can, you know, write your letters and everything else you can until you're blue in the face. But this is a very real grassroots type of process you can do that'll help to make a difference. I'm one of the dumbest people I know, and I haven't bought fuel in nearly 3 years. It's better for the engine, it's better for the environment, because the sulfur dioxide emissions, which is your major component of acid rain, absolutely drops down to zero. You spend a day processing, heating it and processing the transesterification, a day washing it in those 2 wash barrels, and a day drying it, or a little less than a day actually. And the idea is each day a load of fuel, a batch of fuel that you're making moves from one step to the next, to the next, to the next. So in theory anyway, if things are going right, every day you can harvest a batch of fuel and start a batch of fuel.
So far we've had 100% success with the restaurants we've talked to, explaining what we do as a business, employing veterans. Homeowners, they're being fined $100 a day for not cutting their lot until it reaches the assessed value of the lot, in which time they seize it. So the fines are there for incentives for people to take care of their lots, but it doesn't address the fact that the people are just physically not and financially incapable of clearing the lot. They like to call it the good neighbor plan. So you're going to ask a 85-year-old lady that's been living alone in the lower Ninth Ward for the last 45 years to clear her lot with 8 feet of weeds? It's not going to happen. We've cleared 50 or 60 lots in the lower Ninth Ward. The lower Ninth Ward's got 5,000 plus homes in it. Put 5 guys to work, we'd have it done in 2 months.
One good thing is a byproduct of biodiesel is glycerin, and it is biodegradable. So actually if we could find a soap maker, we could supply them, and then we just create another job.
Alternative energy, biodiesel, solar, geothermal, all of that doesn't cost lives. You know, biodiesel doesn't kill anybody to get it, doesn't kill anybody to make it, doesn't kill anybody to use it. So I think it's not only the green thing to do, but it's the right thing to do.
Good karma.
We hope to be able to franchise, like cottage industry size, these biodiesel plants, so we can enable people, empower an entrepreneur to make the biodiesel, and hopefully going to be able to use that to power a generator. I'm going to build a net zero energy home here on the bayou. Concrete construction, solar power, geothermal heating and cooling, and the biodiesel generator will be supplemental for our power. And if it all works, then we're going to try to take that concept and grow Bayou Liberty into a green construction company, utilizing veteran training program to develop labor.
The types of building methods we're going to use will prove our point. This is a M2 house that was constructed out of foam, insulated foam, or what they call structural insulated foam panels. So it's cement and foam wired together and rebar, but it's basically a foam house that's surrounded in cement. And then the soffits are all wood, and the staircases, door jambs, window jambs. What is nice about it is that the water will come in, it will rise up, it will make everything wet, and then it'll go back down again. And all they'll have to do is go and hose it out, and maybe replace some furniture and their books and their pictures, that sort of thing. But you just don't leave anything on the first floor. This is going to be a garage and shop on the first floor, and they're going to be living space and all their personal belongings will be up on the second floor anyway.
So this doesn't mold?
This won't mold.
Right.
And no termites, and tornado proof, hurricane resistant. So this mud field and new grass is where we're putting in the geothermal wells that will heat and cool this house. Because of the R value of the envelope, that this is all made out of styrofoam, then the geothermal at 70 degrees will be able to heat and cool the house. So what we were hired to do is to come in and recycle this stuff, grade the lot, and put in the geothermal. But we really wanted this job because we were thinking about using the same kind of setup out in the bayou. By seeing what is right and wrong about it, we've decided to use the panels, but to make showers and docks and retaining walls and such out of this stuff instead of houses. It's hollow. It's all foam. Foam and a few bars of rebar and the metal frame.
So basically, at the end of the day, this thing's going to be totally self-sufficient. Not only is the building going to be totally self-sufficient, but everything on the compound is going to basically run off the earth, solar, geo, and bio. So that's a pretty industrious project. So we're taking that concept, what's being developed here, and we're bringing that over to New Orleans, basically in the lower Ninth Ward initially. And we have about 100 families that are interested in building sustainable, affordable homes that we have designed, and we're going to incorporate community solar, geothermal. So we're going to have the elements of not only sustainability, but also employment and transferable skills. The houses that we're talking about over in the lower Ninth are going to be what they call near zero net energy homes, where their utility bills will run around $20 or $30 a month. Your insurance is going to be lower. Your mortgage may be a little higher, and when I'm talking a little higher, I'm talking about $10, $12 a month. So you couple that with your lack of utility bills, your low insurance costs, and every month you're paying less out of your pocket to live affordable, sustainable, and environmentally friendly. They had a meeting yesterday with the Department of Energy, and they're very excited about seeing something happen.
It all kind of seems to be working out.
We're just making it happen.
But first we're going to start here and prove it on ourselves. We're going to use the property, build the housing the way we are offering it to others. We're going to build it out here, test it, prove it, and use it as a demonstration. So this will be a solar powered, biodiesel powered, and thermal heated and cooled property, completely off the grid. In fact, we'll be generating power and selling it to our neighbors and turning the meter backwards, as they say.
We had plans to do some solar green building here even before the storm. What's crazy about the storm is that it's just accelerated really a lot of my personal plans and enhanced them and brought the right people, the right souls into my life. Now actually things are getting done. That's awesome. We're dreaming about a big project in the lower Ninth Ward, doing sustainable building for our lower income people, our retired or elderly, kind of help them develop their community back. And it could structurally be better than ever if people will come back and want to come back and can get jobs and can have housing. Then these communities will heal. They'll be different. They'll be different. Hopefully they'll be better. Hopefully there'll be more opportunity. It's actually very exciting. I'm a big believer in dreaming, and dreams have been coming true for me, so I ain't gonna stop now. We can afford to get the equipment we need to do our small scale operation, and then if we're meant to get bigger, we will. We'll figure out how to do it. Especially if I get a bunch of people dreaming about it, then hell, that kind of energy will make shit happen for sure. Cottages on it, so we were gonna get those up and running, and over time develop a little family compound. But a storm really changed that. When we first arrived at the property day after Labor Day, 8 days after the storm, we had to crawl over and under maybe 60 logs crossing the driveway, and that was pretty bizarre. I mean, the trees that were snapped halfway up, trees that were uprooted.
They know that there's free unlimited power in the universe that we could all use, but they won't give it to us because it would set us free from them. And whoever controls energy controls the people who need the energy.
BioLiberty, I guess a little background,
We're not crazy.
necessary to explain what High Liberty is all about.
My name's Kevin Curley, and I was fortunate enough to buy this piece of property about 6 months before Katrina. Had some rental
Money that we'd raised to do relief work on different grassroots organizations, and they were sending volunteers in to help Common Ground, emergency communities. Plenty International, who was with us from day one, they came and started working out of here for a while, and then we set up another camp in Duloc. And then now they've bought a house in Araby and are rebuilding homes in Lower Ninth Ward and in St. Bernard Parish. Walking to New Orleans was a march from Mobile, Alabama to New Orleans to call attention to
the trees that were bent, all kind of directions. Serendipitously, I run into some people that are looking for a place to camp. They're doing relief work, and it's just worked out pretty super.
Just after the storm, about November, we finally were able to chop our way in here and start cleaning out the property. United Peace Relief was bringing in trained medical people and manning the free clinic in New Orleans. Veterans for Peace were spending the cost of the war and its effect on Katrina, Rita relief. So it's been a well-used space since the storm.
The population fluctuated from 5 to 20 at times, and went on for a year plus.
The first year we volunteered, we mucked and gutted houses and brought in food and supplies and things like that, more immediate stuff.
They know that there's free unlimited power in the universe, that we